Okay, so it's day 148. I know I missed recording yesterday. Really running late right now. Yeah, it's one of those days. I got enough gas to get to work, which is obviously a good thing, but I just got so buried in that lab assignment for my class over the weekend. Even though I'm still late. I'll be within the sort of time bracket to turn it in tonight. So I'll be losing some points because of obviously being late. But got so buried in yesterday. I just was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on this. I'm not gonna go and make a vlog post. Like, what am I gonna tell anybody? Like, what has changed? Really not much. Got my work cut out for me, let's just put it that way. I do have to do sort of the actual write-up for the lab. I have pretty much everything figured out. I'm just going to have to word things, which shouldn't be that bad. But other than that, there's just the whole, what do you call it? The other work that I want to get done today and tomorrow, so as to be ready as much as I can for the quiz. Actually start getting that stuff done, really. Stuff I've been talking about for weeks, but what else? I don't know, not much. I just like I said, I'm getting adjusted right now to being up at this point. With this daylight savings time. Well, I don't really put it that way. I just said I'm running late, but I think a large part of it has to do with daylight savings time, but also just let's be honest, like I haven't been handling things as well as I coulda, shoulda, woulda when it comes to the work that I'm needing to get done, and hence why I'm like on the road at this hour. It's not really like that complicated. It's just, having to change how I'm preparing for class, because truth be told, like a lot of stuff I've been doing, it hasn't been really as effective. Spending way too much time reading the material, doing the reading material, or watching these lecture videos as opposed to just doing problems. And that's really what I want to be doing today. It looks like a lot of people are running late from the looks of things. How many cars there are on the roads? But I'm gonna focus right now on just like getting over lanes wise, not getting hit. Snap. Okay, and one more lane. Can we do this? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Like, I mean, even the times I've been this late on other days, there hasn't been as many cars on the road. You definitely tell, like, everybody's like, maybe not everybody, but most people, or a lot of people. Yeah, just probably a lot of people. A lot of people are having to try and get on board with this whole shifting everything forward by an hour. Because if it wasn't daylight savings time, like, I would just be getting up right now, and I'm thinking that's probably the case with a lot of folks. But here we are, and I'm gonna try to get from point A to point B. But yeah, this afternoon, assuming nothing goes down today, I just get out at the usual time, 3:30, head home, do the lab write-up, And I already have things mapped out for like, okay, what problems I need to do for those sort of like extra problems, because let me see, there's these things called in-class activities. And see, one thing I didn't want to do was just break open the textbook and just start doing a bunch of random problems when they might not be relevant to what we're trying to do in class. So I'm using these like problem sets the professor's given us, and that's what I'm trying to go and do. But I'll be using that as like sort of my basis, try to get those things done. Hopefully get enough that I can get enough done that when I go into the quiz I feel at least comfortable, you know. It's kind of like the idea. I think that's the best that I really can do, is just go in there feeling comfortable with the material. Even with what I would call, you know, half butt job that I did on the quiz last time, apparently I was able to get most of the points. But again, I'm like more so looking at that as an indication that, hey, like I really wasn't prepared and hadn't really done my job right. So yeah, I think one of the other things that is bugging me, and it's something that's on my shoulder. It's my fault, but we had an in-class activity. It was like a bonus point thing, and maybe it's just because I was so exhausted that day. But I posted late to this discussion, and I mean, I'm hoping that the only getting like 1 or 2 points extra credit, that was just for me. That didn't affect the rest of the group. I mean, like, I'd say that to the professor, like, if I do find out that it was for the entire group, that I'd contact them and be like, okay, this is on me. Just please give full credit to the rest of my group. That sort of thing. I'll take that hit. It's not gonna. I mean, like I said, it's extra credit, so it's not like it's gonna dock our grade, but I mean, like less points, which would, as being extra credit would probably help buffer, your grade against, any sort of negative effects of, let's say, a bad quiz score or bad exam score or something like that, Let me see if I can. I do not like the way they have these lanes set up over here. It's like, yeah, they have 3 lanes that, it's like going on the on-ramp, and then it just suddenly, like, pretty much suddenly switches over into, like, 1 lane. And when you have, Mack trucks and all that, just screaming by, I mean, you learn how to do that, how to handle it, but at the same time, it's like kind of like, who the hell designed this shit? Do they stuff? Yeah, it's not a family-friendly channel, but who the heck designed this stuff? Were they thinking about, like, okay, people are probably gonna be going by at 80 miles per hour, or faster, even though the speed limit is 65? Are they gonna have enough, distance to merge without there being accidents, which I haven't seen as of yet, but yeah, anyways, I'm thinking about this from an engineer's perspective. Then again, I don't have all the data points to, like, be able to accurately conclude, okay, this is a good design or not, but anyways, so I gotta leave up to the folks who designed it and assume that they knew what they were doing, which it seems like they did. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this video is covering 147 and 148 days. Obviously today's 148. No, I didn't relapse. I know, like, if anybody out there is actually following my videos consistently, I know there's Dark Magician, there's Alex, but I really don't get that many views, so not really sure who I'm being accountable to other than myself, but I'm sure it seems like to any folks that they're following someone and then they suddenly they stop making daily vlogs. Like, okay, this guy relapsed. Is he gonna be posting a tearful "I'm sorry guys, I relapsed" video, or what's up with him? But no, I didn't relapse. I like I said, I just got buried in my work, and there's a couple ironic things that happened on the weekend. I know I also talked about, I'm going to make this, intro video to a, weight loss journey vlog series or whatever. Didn't get around to making that. Number of reasons. For one thing, obviously, there's the whole lab assignment, being late on starting that, thing. But also, there's a lot more planning that goes into it, as I'm as I'm finding out. And it's almost like somehow last time around, when I did, do sort of this weight loss thing, and I wasn't really vlogging about it. I was just kind of doing that. I don't know. I had certain factors aligned such that I didn't have to sort of quote unquote think about it too much, and I was getting results. But nowadays, it's like I have to sort of think these things out, because I think part of it is just because the kind of let's say food catering they had at my old workplace, combined with my scheduling, where I would just be up and awake when let's say the restaurant that served the food that I would buy for lunch, was open, and that place, they can make they make the kinds of meals where you just gotta make a couple modifications, and you have a easy low carb meal, and you can just go get that, and that's it's a large enough amount of food that it'll fill you up, but at the same time not overdo it. And like I said, you say, okay, I don't want rice or tortillas, and then it's like, okay, bam, low carb meal, but that place, the hours are open, it kind of aligned with my previous schedule, so I was just like, okay, got a couple hours to kill, I got my rest, I'm gonna go grab that meal, come back, shower, get dressed, go to work, and take the food with me, obviously. I didn't really have to sort of plan things out as much, but in this case I have to, because this is a day shift position, and typically expected to be there, around 7. So I had to start at 7. So, and that is let me see. I think that's right when the restaurant opens up. So it's kind of like I said in the past, I'd have to go and buy the meal the day before. So there's that. And there's the fact that so much of the sort of secret of this diet really is just not having insulin spikes. And since I like to have coffee in the morning, that means things like I gotta watch what kind of creamer, how much, etc. that I have if I'm gonna have coffee. Of course, if I could get the effect out of tea, I could probably maybe take a different approach with that. I don't think they really sell tea creamer. Probably would be more half and half, and you throw in some 0-calorie sweetener. But there's stuff like that I gotta take into consideration. And then pretty much no dairy, etc., etc. But it's stuff that I really need to sit down and sort of hash out in a video. And on top of that, what else? I've got to get some very basic equipment to just measure out some biometric, data points, so that when I can when I can actually get through a week of, sticking with the diet, that I'll be able to consistently measure myself and be like, okay, here's the data points for this week compared to the data points from last week. Is there any difference? Blah, 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 that sort of deal. And I haven't been able to do that. And I guess the actual, example I'd give is sort of something ironic that happened this last weekend was actually yesterday. Yesterday, what essentially happened was I had some leftover coffee from last Saturday, the day before, and it had basically the standard, creamer that has lots of sugar in it. And I ended up consuming that, which obviously, it causes the insulin spike. And basically, even if I had a low carb meal right after that, you're still on the insulin spike, time period. So it's kind of it doesn't really have that kind of effect that it would otherwise have. And then on top of that, and at first I was really annoyed about this, but it's sort of like a hashtag first world problem. Because in many other countries in the world, it's kind of it's not like, oh, I'm on a diet, I need to lose weight. It's like, no, I need food, I can't get basic sustenance. That's kind of like their challenge or their problem in life is just basically survival. But place I had gone to get a quote unquote low carb meal, they ended up accidentally putting basically putting cheese. It was I think it was jack cheese or cotija cheese. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. I'll have to work on my pronunciations for some of these names, but yeah, they actually put that in there, and I'd asked them, to not do that. But people make mistakes. It wasn't like, oh, they put something in it that was gonna cause me to have some adverse reaction. I've known folks who are let's say extremely allergic to, let's say, coconut oil. It's not like that. It wasn't like it was going to cause me to have a epileptic seizure or something like that. But as far as the whole low carb thing is concerned, it would disrupt that, which, like I said, ironically enough, I'd already done that myself. So then, after a little bit sitting there going ugh, I'm kind of annoyed that happened. I was just well, ironically enough, you already had that sugar from the coffee creamer, which already messed things up. So maybe this is just in some sort of deeper sense, just an outgrowth of that. You already kind of set this up already in a sense, not to get all what do you call it, superstitious or something, but maybe that's the case, And my empty tank sign just came out, which means I actually have about 43 miles till the tank is bone dry. I'm about 6 miles out from the exit, so I'll have the fuel to get myself to a gas station after work, but need some extra time away from getting other things done. But be that as it may, I'll just have to deal with it. I wonder if a lot of my failures in life, thinking about this, kind of use this as an example, I've been really sort of rooted in sort of misunderstanding what my limits are, because it's kind of like when Dark Magician brought up the fact that the half-life of caffeine is 5 hours, and me not understanding that, it was kind of or not knowing that before, it's kind of well, no wonder I was not able to get to sleep at a certain hour. I wasn't planning things out in terms of, okay, when am I gonna consume my last cup of coffee, etc., etc. And sort of not knowing okay, what can I reasonably get done, and let's say the remaining 4 to 5 hours after I get home from work, assuming I'm trying to get to sleep by 8:30 or 9, so that I can also, get that 7 to 8 hours of sleep to be, up, awake, and effective at work, etc., etc. And then going and looking at, okay, what is it I think I need to do, in, let's say, that this week, so I'll be ready for whatever thing is coming up, and being able to actually, delineate that or assign that to specific days, in order to actually get from point A to point B to get the grade or the, whatever that I'm, trying to get, that I need to get, And that's why I'm always saying, I need to figure this out, figure that out. It's like, because it just seems like so much of what I've been trying to do is sort of like I'm having very much the similar issues I had when I was an undergrad, which is kind of frustrating, but at the same time I think it's kind of pointing out the fact that you're always going to have to be on guard against things like this. There will never be a day, really, until or unless you're like, I don't know, financially independent, independently wealthy, let's say, and you're just kind of like chilling there, where you won't have to be like on top of all of that, and where you have to be like, where you want to be disciplined. But even then, I think like there are aspects of life where you still have to be disciplined, like when it comes to your health, or when it comes to anything you're trying to do. If you're like independently wealthy and you're trying to do some sort of like, because you're you're bored and you're wealthy and you want to go on some sort of expedition, let's say to Mount Everest or so, like you're gonna have to be disciplined in that case, even, just for the sake of like your own safety and getting to the top of the mountain, and then getting back down safe and sound. And so it's always going to be like sort of it'll always be an issue, not because you're necessarily not taking care of it, but because there's always that possibility, and what else? But yeah, I need to be more effective. I'm not even really sure how to. I guess it's sort of like something that I'll sort of learn by doing it. And to that end, there's some things I need to take care of before class starts, which I'll somehow have to squeeze in while I'm sitting at my desk working on this or that. But and I don't know what today or this week is going to be like. Obviously, like I said, I'm running behind on stuff. So we'll see. The exit, or we're on our way to the exit, so just gotta roll into work, go in there, get started on whatever I'm assigned to, and hopefully there's one of those simple tasks I can just get done, and then maybe have a little bit of downtime. I'll try and get some stuff done before class. I mean, I'll to basically use my my lunchtime to go and do that. It's like a couple pre-lecture quizzes. What I usually like to do is go and watch all the videos and read the textbook and all that kind of stuff, and then go through there and really spend time on it. But like for one thing, in this case I don't have the time. But on top of that, I think the way the quiz is set up, it's not like unless you had the quizzes from like last semester where you had one chance to it was 2 chances to take the quiz and your highest score was kept. It's more like you have unlimited chances to take the quiz, and it's just you do your best, but eventually it kind of becomes just okay. It's your 5th attempt. Try this different answer, and then eventually, assuming you've clicked through them, you finally get that answer. And if you have questions because it took you 5 times to figure it out, then you ask that on the other quiz, which is basically just a discussion. So I may just have to take that approach, which I don't really like, but like I said, I'm seeing with the format of this class as things stand at this point in the semester, in the 2-3 weeks before the midterm, that really it's just one of those sort of classes where you just gotta slog through a bunch of problems and basically be solving that sort of stuff. And there's theory behind it, but so much of it is just application, as opposed to being way more theory based. I mean, everything is theory based, but the emphasis isn't on just learning the theory. It's more like, okay, we're taking all this stuff that you learned in these 2 classes preceding this, statics, and then the properties of materials or so, and then we're going to apply this to these biomedical or biomechanical scenarios. So just knock all these problems out and get warmed up enough that when you go into the quiz or the exam, you're ready for that. And so I don't know if I'll be exactly 150% getting on that diet this week. I need to. I know I had that sort of scare like last week or week before last about the whole muscle pain, that sort of thing, and I gotta lose weight, I gotta get exercise, and I do. But there's that, and then there's the what else, like the also I was trying to say, I forgot, but basically, yeah, I'm kind of struggling with getting certain things going, getting the ball rolling. So, a lot of stuff to take care of, a lot of stuff to get settled, and now we're here. I guess it's officially 7:11 a.m. and 7:12 looks like, actually. So yeah, I'm late, and probably the latest I've been in a while, but then again, daylight savings time kind of got me. So anywho, I'm gonna just finish up recording and go in, and I'll see you folks around. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.